Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today we are going to be talking about 4K Blu-ray Steelbooks. Everyone buys them because they look fantastic usually, and their slipcover counterparts are a little bit less durable. But here I'm going to be talking about 5 of my Steelbooks that do not look as good as their slipcover counterparts. And while you're watching this, I'm sure you're going to be asking yourself, why did he buy these Steelbooks if they don't look that good? Why did he just not buy the slipcover? And that's because sometimes when new movies come out, I'm smitten a little bit. If I like the movie a lot, I'll usually buy a bunch of different versions of it. I bought 3 versions of Black Widow, if that's going to tell you anything. So sometimes I get caught up in a frenzy and I buy the Steelbooks, or sometimes I think they look okay, but just not as good as their slipcover counterparts. So to get things started here, we're going to be talking about a big one, that is Avengers Endgame. And if you look here, I love the slipcover. It's the standard poster artwork. I think it's striking. Got a great gloss cover, but the Steelbook, it just looks kind of underwhelming. It looks almost like it was drawn, even though that is the actual 3D representation of the characters. I just didn't like it that much. I got it mostly for the collectability of it, but it didn't sell out very fast, so that didn't work out. And overall, from a design standpoint, I think this one just isn't very unique. It's more of a variation on a standard poster. This just looks really striking, and it's cheaper, so I think the Avengers Endgame Steelbook is not as good looking as the slipcover. Up next, we have a movie I did not like very much. I think it's hot garbage, actually, so I have no idea why I bought it twice. That is Wonder Woman 1984. And here on the slipcover, it's striking. That's, again, standard poster artwork. I'm a big fan of standard poster art. I don't like when slipcovers deviate from that. But the Steelbook here, it's just way too much going on. It's almost got like a weird watercolor effect. I don't like the sideways position of Gal Gadot on there. And the slipcover, I just think is striking, and it gets right to the point, and it has those nice vibrant colors. So I think the Wonder Woman 1984 Steelbook is not as good looking as the slipcover. Next up on my list of 5 4K Blu-ray Steelbooks that do not look as good as their slipcover counterparts, we have the War Epic 1917. And up until recently, I only owned the slipcover edition. I just found this for like $10 at Target, so I picked it up, but I just don't really like it that much. I mean, minus the embossing here, it's just pretty plain. It doesn't capture the mood of the movie whatsoever, but I feel like the slipcover edition here, it captures the tone of it, it captures the craziness and the intimacy of the movie, and I think it just looks really visually striking, whereas this, it's just kind of plain, and it doesn't really capture anything about the movie. This next entry really pains me because I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the past decade. That is Joaquin Phoenix in Joker, and I think this looks okay. The slipcover is alright, but I don't know why they picked this image for the front of the standard 4K Blu-ray Steelbook in the United States. If you look at the back with the Joker on the stairs, I would have preferred that had been the cover, and I think this would have definitely looked better than the slipcover if that had been the case, but it wasn't, and this is what we got for the 4K standard artwork. I think it's good. It's a good scene from the film, but the Steelbook, I just don't like it. It feels kind of blown out because in that scene it's a little bit darker. This one's just way too much light. It looks like they cranked up the brightness on their laptop and said, okay, that looks good. So I would love a better looking Steelbook of Joker eventually. There's some better ones overseas, but I just haven't doled out the cash yet for it. So in the United States, as far as Steelbooks and slipcovers go, the slipcover is superior to the Steelbook for Joker, in my opinion. I'm not going to lie to you, I did have a lot of trouble finding Steelbooks that looked worse than their slipcover counterparts in my collection. I mean, that's going to be the case for a lot of people because usually they only buy the Steelbook if it looks better than the slipcover. But this last one is, I just bought it because I love this movie so much. I've owned the slipcover for about 4 or 5 years now. And this isn't a US release either. It only got one over in the UK. That is the original Blade Runner, The Final Cut. And the slipcover is striking. It's got that Final Cut artwork we've had since the 90s. But look at the slipcover. It's kind of weird. It makes it look like a really cheap comic book. I'm not digging it that much, but I wanted another copy of it for my collection, and my disc on the standard edition was a little bit skippy, so I wanted this for just another copy of the movie. Overall, though, I'm not really smitten with this Steelbook whatsoever. I think a movie with such striking visuals should have gotten a better Steelbook, and there have been better Steelbooks in the UK and overseas before, but this one that I have looks dramatically worse than the slipcover edition does. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.